Hey guys, welcome back to Downtown Wilderness Podcast Edition. I'm Dilip.
I'm Tevin, and you're watching another Downtown Wilderness online edition. This is going to be a podcast, and today we have a very special guest. We're going to interview one of a good friend of ours, which
Yay.
is Ernest.
Woo!
Say hi, Ernest.
Oh, what's up,
Hi, hi, hi,
Ernest?
hi,
What's
hi.
up?
Hi guys, I'm
Well,
Ernest.
he's a snake keeper, so
Yo, before that,
let's hear what you
you
say.
wanna start off by maybe introducing yourself?
Okay, say
Yeah,
something.
hi guys, I'm Ernest. I've been having pet snakes for quite some time now. Most recently,
maybe
I
you
have
maybe
two.
you can say like how are you and where do you live first before we start off with the snake.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm passionate about snakes, so I'm originally from Malaysia, but I moved to Australia for studies.
Mm.
But that's the main purpose. Like that's how I came to fall in love with like pet snakes.
Alright.
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
I'm 22,
Okay.
not too old.
Okay.
Well, that's good. So how many snakes have right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying, I have two snakes. One snake is a ball python. Another one is corn snake.
Oh,
Mm.
nice.
Both lovely snakes, I shall add.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, that's cool, that's cool. For your ball python and corn snake, like how old are they?
For my corn snakes, it's roughly 6 months. It's quite small, quite young.
Mm.
For my ball python, it's roughly a year or so.
Mm.
It's not too big. Like it's just a passion that I picked up like most recently. But I mean, I have like a fascination towards pet snakes for quite some time. But as you know, in Malaysia, we can't really have like pet snakes. I mean, it's not really safe, especially with my parents, because I moved out to Australia and I'm able to have pet snakes. And don't get me wrong, like it's good. But Malaysia is good, but in Australia, like pet snakes or any exotic pets are actually quite common here, and you usually see like any lizard just walk by throughout the park. These kind of things are like, it's
So
something you don't see.
so what you're saying is like when you're in Malaysia, you stay with your parents and your friends. So when you own a snake in Malaysia, they often have that stereotype and misconception about them compared to living in Australia, right?
I mean, if you remove pet snakes in general, I mean, my parents itself, they don't really like animals, so that's a huge hurdle to go over. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's good.
So the snake is with you right now?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just right on my arm as we speak.
So how did this happen? Like when you moved to Australia, like how do you suddenly like, you know what, I'm free from my parents, I should get a pet snake. How did this happen?
To me, it's a good sense of having. I mean, I moved here all alone, and I just need someone to connect with. And I was thinking like getting a pet or whatever. It was not in my mind per se at the start, but later on, I start thinking like it's not bad to have a pet snake, a pet, any pet in general. Then I actually called up my friends. We talked about that. My friend, he is in Australia. He's an Australian. He owns a few exotic pets as well, a few spiders and whatsoever. I didn't really ask him about it, but he said like, "Oh yeah, this pet snake, he full, his hands are full and he needs someone to take care of the pet snake." So it was the ball python. I named it Freddy.
Freddie?
Yeah, and Freddy was cute when I received it. He was roughly 3 to 4 months old, and I have it, and just can't stop having it from then on. Yeah.
So how old is
Mm.
Freddie right now?
A year plus.
A year
Like I
plus.
said before.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
big. That's big.
Then, why did you choose snakes instead of like the spider or other lizards?
Mm.
Yeah, because I was saying that like my friend in Australia, let's just not put names on him. Should I? I guess his name is Mark. Yeah, and he has a few other exotic pets, few geckos and few. Yeah,
So
then
the
the ball python was like he said it's too full and this python needs a bit more care towards them as well. So he said he asked me do I want it? I said sure, and just like why not just take in for a few months, few weeks and see if it's suitable for me. If not, I can just pass it back to my friend and see if he can find anyone else to help him take care of it.
So
But
Yeah, I
what
mean,
about
I
the
was thinking of getting a
corn
spider
snake?
as well, but yeah. Sorry.
so
Yeah,
What about the
yeah.
corn snake?
the corn snake. That was after I took like roughly
Freddy?
half a year after I took in Freddy. I feel like I have like a kind of weird like satisfaction when I have a pet snake. So I took in.
Right.
I want to try something different, something less not say problematic, but
So you
less difficult.
yeah, you went back to
Yeah.
more to the beginner guide kind of snake.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
Okay, that's very interesting. So it all started from like your friend asked you if you wanna try it out, and you're like, why not? So that's how you tried it.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, just to let you know, I do have a few questions for you. So I would like to ask you, like, how does it felt like owning an exotic pet snake?
At first it feels like something weird because I'm not used to having a pet, especially exotic pets as well. And it just it just dawns on me thinking that wow, is this a different stage from my life where I own a pet snake, and just doing all this is just different for me. But overall it's exciting, like,
Mm.
and it's new, it's something that I wish I've experienced earlier.
What do you feed them though?
Yeah, for my baby, for Freddy,
Mhm.
I feed, which is ball python. I feed him live mice,
Live mice. Wow.
and yeah, for my corn snake, which I name is Sammy, I kind of, yeah, I because they're brand sisters, so I feed her frozen pinkies. Yeah,
Frozen pinkies. Yeah, like what you said,
Mhm.
still small.
yeah, it is.
That's cool.
This,
That's
yeah.
really interesting.
Mhm.
How about you, Tevin? Do you have a snake?
Not right now because parents.
Parents, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
same thing. How about you?
I mean, I'm not really into snakes since I was young, but maybe in the future, maybe I would try out.
But you plan to get a monitor lizard, right?
Yeah, I might. I'm still tempted to get that. Do you have
Right.
any other pets besides snakes, Ernest?
For now, no. I'm thinking of getting a bearded dragon,
A bearded
but
dragon.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
but
nice.
I'm still thinking about it. Because if the expenses I have, I'm just barely surviving with my own. So
But
if I add
but
like
you
other
should
stuff,
you really should, because for me and Tevin, we are in Malaysia, and both of us actually own a bearded dragon, and a bearded dragon is origin from
Mm.
Australia. While you're from Australia, you should totally have
Yeah.
one.
yeah, it's considering.
You should, man.
Good.
That's really
But
good.
just one more question to add on. Like, where do you get your corn snake? Like, do you have a local pet stores around?
No, I just got from my friend Mark. Remember I was telling the Mark
Mm.
that has
That
many
was-
exotic pets.
Freddy
Yeah.
or Sammy?
Oh,
Sammy?
yeah.
That
No,
was
Freddy and Sammy is my snake. Mark, my friend that gave me the snake. He has his connection, and I buy it from him. I buy from
Oh,
him
you.
because
So you bought Sammy as well from
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 Mark.
Mark.
yeah.
Right.
'Cause
Does he
Mark-
own a local pet store or something?
Nah, it's nothing. Not much legal. But the point is, like, he has
Like a
multiple
breeder.
ones.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
That's
he
cool.
is.
That's cool.
So do you know that your snake is a captive bred or a wild caught one? Do you know it?
As far as I know, it's captive bred.
Mm,
As far as I know.
okay.
Right. That's good.
Then how about like Sammy and Freddy? Do they show affection as a pet snake?
Uh, I I never thought about that. I mean, for me, I haven't put them too close together. I mean, I just got Sammy recently as well, so
So
I'm
then,
just trying to adapt to it.
how about Freddy? Does he like let you pet? Like, do you feel love that like maybe he like
Mm.
just chill beside you or something?
Yeah, I do.
So pet snakes
Something,
does shows affection.
yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, is the point. I when I got him, I was kind of afraid as well, and I think he also sensed like kind of my fear, and I think we slowly get used to each other, and we get to get close, and yeah,
That's
good.
really interesting.
Yeah, but do you think it's okay? Like, if you let's say you saw a wild snake, and then in Australia because they are well known for like wild snakes everywhere. if you see one, would you considering like adopting and keeping it as a pet?
For me, for where I'm from, I'm in the city. I don't really see much wild snakes per se, but I don't. For me personally, I don't really agree with taking from the wild. I believe in the ecosystem of the world where we shouldn't take away something from
Right.
the food chain thing, because that is you are destroying ecosystem, which will kind of destroy the earth eventually. So I think that captive breed on not just snakes per se, but captive breed in any exotic pets, it's important, especially it kind of derives the value of like how the point of having an exotic pet doesn't mean like capturing from the wild doesn't mean it's cooler. It's just I think it's more harm than it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Right.
people don't realize it as well.
Cause I do see videos
Agreed.
in Australia like wild bearded dragons running around and they look pretty fierce compared to the captive
Yeah,
breed.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, they do. For bearded dragons, I think I saw a few when I was like walking through the park or
You
whatsoever.
you fought it? You
And
saw
it
it
was
in real life?
yeah, I
Damn.
did. I mean, it goes back to my like morals as well. Like I said, I won't randomly pick up a bearded dragon out of the streets. But overall, I think it's a thing that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Wow, man, dude, it's really awesome, man, to hear this type of story from like Australia. Cause for Malaysia, what we see in the wild is what we can see. Maybe it's just monitor lizards. We've never seen
Yeah.
a wild bearded dragon.
Because bearded dragons are origin from Australia.
Yeah, for us, we have to spend like our pocket money to get one bearded dragon while you can see it from the wild. That's cool,
That's
man.
true.
That's cool.
And for there, it's super common. Like they
Mm.
can get it anywhere.
That's really cool. So, do you recommend exotic pet like in general, or maybe like do you recommend snakes to the public?
I guess for me to say this is I don't think it's for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I like this maybe it's a very general statement, but I think that pet snakes are not for everyone. But if it's for you, I think it's a good thing. The point of having a pet snake, like I don't know, to me it's very home feeling. Don't know. It's just I just when I see Freddie and Sammy, I just feel like very home for some reason. But yeah, I think someone should not say try to have a pet snake, but at least like experience the snake with you. It's an experience that you can't really describe it.
So it's more towards your own personality. Like if you're not into snakes, you're not into snakes. We can't force anyone to like them.
I mean, yeah, I think it's not like in or not into snakes, but it's the point of like if I guess you have to experience it to know if you are suitable to have pet snakes.
That's cool. That's cool. Then in that case, like, what would you tell the people out there who like snakes but are afraid of snakes? Cause
Well,
I do have friends that they come to my place and they check out like bearded dragon, they check out my tarantulas, but they are like what the reaction that they gave me is like, ew, like why are you touching all this? And some of them are really afraid that they do not want to stand near me. So like for
Yeah,
people who are
true.
afraid of snakes, but some of them actually do like snakes, but they are really afraid of them. How do you tell them, like how do you encourage them to like conquer
Maybe
their
a
fear?
little message.
Mm.
to me, this kind of thing, I think that you just have to encourage them and ask them fight through it. I mean, like you can't. This is all psychology kind of thing. Like you can't force someone to hold it, but you can encourage them re, to help them to think of the mindset of like, why would you think that disgusting, or why do you think that it's gonna hurt you? In trying to do it psychologically, it will really help the person to have a different mentality towards the animal itself, the pet. Because for me, I think that like the majority why people won't have those exotic pets as pets is because of how the mindset they set in beforehand. Like, oh, snakes are dangerous. Like, all snakes are dangerous, and it's not really true. Like, some snakes are not venomous or poisonous at the same time. Like, they're just there. They're friendly and they don't bite much. So like the misconception really distributes to the point of people fearing exotic pets. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I think it's more of helping them understand like what is this specific pet that they are going to pet as well. If you educate them, like obviously educate them with like kind-heartedly. Don't accuse them and scold them, but tell them kindly that just tell them like this is that, and yeah, and hopefully they change their mind, and eventually maybe they will give the exotic pet a try, a touch, or like it will maybe hold it in future. But yeah.
All right, I get it.
True.
So when
Because there is
uh-huh. Go ahead,
like
Tevin.
differences between like wild snakes and captive bred. They might be the same snakes, but they do show different behavior, right, Ernest?
Yeah, they do. I mean, as far as I know,
So
they.
some people might be afraid of thinking that the wild snakes and the captive bred are like around the same, like they're fierce, but actually they are not.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point of like educating them, letting them know what is the correct fact and what is just a myth created by fear mongering people. Yeah, I mean, for me, I understand is for wild pets they are more aggressive because they're not really tame per se. They were raised in an environment of aggression. For example, like for snakes, they are not like the bottom of the food chain. They're also not the top of the food chain. So sometimes they have to be aggressive to protect themselves, or sometimes to be aggressive to or be more protective, or to have like also aggressive and say that to get their food as well. Like different wild and capture breed, and it's a totally different world in itself. So I guess yeah, it's kind of important to distinguish what is what, and try not to have uh to capture wild breed.
That makes sense. Yeah,
When
that's true.
when you first got Freddy, were you afraid of it?
For me, so is not that afraid because before I actually officially take him in, I Mark actually gave me like a few days like on and off to go. I went to his house, see Freddy, and just talk to them and just like not like pet, like just getting adapt to the point of having a pet snake. I was kind of afraid at first, but eventually when I officially adopted him, I don't feel scared. Yeah.
Mm, that's really cool. That's really cool. So, is there any more thing that I would like to? Is there anything that you would like to tell
Yeah,
the
like
audience?
mm, maybe you like to share like some of the experience you
Experience.
have with
Yeah.
your snakes and stuff, like while feeding them, or has they ever like escaped through the enclosure before? Because I have friends that kept a ball python, and the snake is actually strong enough to push the lid open, and the snake came out, and he realized it after when he got home. So maybe you got some funny moments or like experience with your snakes that you want to
I
talk
mean,
about.
honestly, I didn't. For me, I spend most of my time home, so I spend most of the time playing with them. If they're not sleeping, then I play with them. I mean, funny moments. I
Well,
guess when I invited my friends over, and the first time I didn't really tell them about my pet snakes, and then they were kind of surprised, and they got a jump when they saw a Freddy, and
Mm.
that's before I got Sammy. But when they saw Freddy, they were kind of afraid because and it goes back to what I said before, like the misconception, the false myth that they have in mind, like, oh, this snake is scary, this snake is venomous, or they will kill you. But yeah, it's
go
the
ahead.
the fear they have together, which really set the mindset. It was funny to me because like how scared they are.
So how's your friend now? Like, are they still afraid of Freddy?
They're still adapting to it. It's not really not. They're not like fully like into him yet, but yeah, still there. It's coming along.
That's good. So like, let's say if you're using your computer, like going to your online classes, like
Mhm.
do you let your snake roam around, or do you just keep it in the enclosure?
It's just based on like what on my feeling that day, and also like how busy am I able to keep an eye on him.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
but majority of the time I don't. I try not to put him out that much, but overall I think it's based on like what's my schedule, like if I have free time stuff.
Okay,
Do you plan on like getting any more snakes in the future?
For now, I don't think I'll get more snakes per se, but yeah, I'm thinking of getting like a bearded dragon.
Bearded
Yeah, I'm
dragon.
still still thinking about it. Not confirmed yet, but yeah.
Alright, but one quick question. If let's say Mark were to give you or sell you Sammy or Freddy, if let's
Mhm.
say they are like, if you found out that they are like wild caught, would you still keep them or buy them?
I mean, after the fact
Like
or
after
before the fact?
realizing that it's wild caught, like not captive bred,
A good question, eh?
would you would you still buy?
It's hard because the emotional attachment.
Yeah,
Because you know,
it's there. But yeah, I mean, it really counts on like what if there is lots of what it came from, like
mm,
how long did Mark took him from? Like if it's
right,
like a long time, then technically you
true.
kind of
Tamed
trained
it.
him to.
Yeah.
But thank
Yeah.
God, this in this case they are actually captive bred, right?
Mm.
Yep.
Just okay. All right, that's cool.
Did Freddy or Sammy ever bite you?
Not really.
Not really. Just like
Not
a
really.
nip, is it?
Yep.
Mm. That's
Mm,
cool. That's cool. That's really interesting to listen to whatever you have just said, and for answering like a lot of our question. I really do appreciate your time that you actually came to our just a short session of a podcast
right.
session with us. It's really an honor to have you to talk about the topic of snakes with us. Thank you so much, Ernest.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you for having me.
that's all for today, guys. So I hope you guys learned a lot from our good friend of ours, Ernest, and hope you guys check out our next episode. Stay tuned, guys.
See you all.
See ya.